I don't know. I know when I was researching it for my novel,
Hmm.
there's massive amounts of depression and apathy, and some guys just don't care because they don't get support. And they do get insulted, and they get, again, we're the generation of feelings. So, oh, my feelings are hurt. I'm gonna go take it out on a black guy because the neighborhood doesn't respect me.
Way to get respect.
You're in the wrong fucking profession.
Yeah. You hear about the guy in New York walked by a 92-year-old fucking woman, pushed her for no reason, like literally just walked past her and pushes her. She slams her head against a fucking fire hydrant on the way down. He looks back at her when she hits the ground, just looks back and keeps walking.
No, I don't know the story.
Didn't even rob her. Didn't just fuck this old bitch.
How is this news?
The fact that he has been arrested more than 100 times.
Again.
That's insane.
Why are we... This is such a fucking distraction story. Fuck off with these little stupid inaugural... Oh, an old lady got pushed. Who fucking cares? People are dying in the world.
Oh, so people should just walk by and just shovel people when they slam their head against something and walk away, fuck them and not care? You don't think anybody should worry about that?
No, I think people should worry about that. I don't think our news should be taken up with it. It's one incident in a town of 8 million.
So? What does that have to do with anything?
It shouldn't make our news. There's other things that the world needs to know about instead of this
like
one little tiny thing in the fucking States. No, Aunt Jemima could go fuck herself too. I think all these stories you've mentioned, every single one of them should not be on the news.
Should be?
The situation in the Congo. That's far more important than one little old lady. The stuff that's going on with Jagmeet Singh right now that nobody's paying attention to, that should be on the news. There's events going on in the world in 200 other countries that are far more important than one little old lady. We're nitpicking and finding these little fucking stories to distract us from what's really going on in the world. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying the mainstream media is doing that, and it's getting pathetic. There's so many people that have had more than 100 arrests. It happens all the time. Our court systems are fucked in both of our countries. That could be the news.
See, that was the point of me reading it. The fact that the guy has done this, he's been over 100 arrests on this guy. 101 to be exact.
And there's 1,000 of him in New York. I guarantee it. And in Toronto, and in Vancouver, and in every major city in the world. It's not a rarity. Our court system needs to be changed.
It shouldn't be a commonality either.
No, but until we start electing judges and holding them accountable, this is what we get.
Now, unfortunately, we don't elect judges.
That's because we aren't willing to change our government.
I agree there. I have no idea how to change this government unless it involves murder, mass murder. I have no idea how else to change it.
Vote against them.
And vote in who?
Me.
Us? Well,
anybody who's not in Ottawa right now.
Well, the U.S. voted in somebody who wasn't in in politics.
Yeah, don't vote in a fucking retard. That's the fact that anyone was surprised that he turned out as spectacularly as he did. Just shows that Americans are as stupid as we think they are. Everyone's made fun of him since the early 80s and what a meathead he was. Why do you think he could run a fucking country? It's a stupid idea. If I'm failing at something and I need to hire someone to help me, I'm not going to hire the guy who's very publicly failed at the exact same thing a half a dozen times. It's just idiotic. The entire system needs to be changed. In the States, the Congress has to go. It's got nothing to do with Trump. Congress hamstrung Obama. They're doing it to Trump, too. It's stupid. It's like you can't get anything done. Even someone who's in charge and has good ideas. In Canada, you can't do it. In the States, you can't do it. You have no power. It's a retarded system. And the whole system needs to be scrapped.
And I still don't see how bringing in one person will do it, because if some person goes in to change that entire system as drastic it needs to be changed, he'd be killed in no time and he'd be out.
Not in Canada.
Well, no, in Canada, he'll get a pie in the face. It's the worst we ever do. Never forget that the day I die. What? Prime Minister attacked in Canada. Pie to the face.
It's got to be we stop with the 110 fucking departments of government that we don't need and get a small, accountable group of people who make decisions based on information they get from us. The way it's supposed to be. It's not that difficult. It's the actual definition of fucking democracy. We just have to get people who actually believe in it to start practicing it again. And then those people, first act they do is get rid of appointed judges. As soon as these ones age out, they're replaced by an elected official. And that official is accountable for the judgments that he makes.
The people vote for the judge?
Well, yeah, of course.
Putting a lot of onus on a lot of people to look up backgrounds on these guys. Make an informed decision.
You want things to be the way they are, or you want to fucking Google a guy?
We already know people aren't fucking Googling any information as it stands anyways.
You put names on a ballot, people will vote for them. Get the right guys out there. You do it with a federal election. Oh, no, I guess judge as well. You'd have provincial and federal. But you do it at the same time. It's one extra fucking check mark beside the 10 you already have to do when you're voting. And then you will see real change in this country. Unless you keep approaching it with attitudes like yours. Like, I can't look up a name.
I didn't say I couldn't. I said the general population won't. And that's living fucking proof. We know that's fucking true.
I think you're wrong. I think if we presented the alternative in a manner that made sense, people would eat it with a fucking spoon.
I absolutely do love the faith you have in people. I don't see it at all. And
that's the problem. Nobody does. Everyone's just written us off as a bunch of fucking invalids that we just have to deal with things because it's just the way it is. I don't buy it.
People prove themselves as being that. Daily.
No, we haven't given them an alternative.
You have flat earthers out there, for Christ's sakes. I mean, like,
they're not real. That's a fucking joke for Facebook.
Well, you want news from around the world that's important? How about the fact that South Africa is officially dealing with two different pandemics? One of them being obviously the one that the whole world is attempting to deal with. The other one is the fact that they've had 21 women and children killed since June fucking 1st because of since they allowed the sale of alcohol. 21 women and children in 17 days.
That's Africa. That's something we should be focusing on. But, oh, God, this old woman in New York fell down.
So discuss it then.
Let's all go focus on that. What's there to discuss? It's Africa.
Oh, that's so now I bring it up and you want to use that as the excuse.
I've said for a month now, people should move out of Africa. That's the answer. Get out of that godforsaken fucking continent.
So then what's the fucking point of me bringing up anything? Jesus.
That's Africa. And the world isn't willing to do anything about it. I don't understand exactly why, but that's just Africa. I don't understand why we allow it. We've gone to war with bigger nations over less. But I don't completely understand who's making the decisions and why. I don't know why we would go after Osama and not South Africans. Nothing he did was any worse than what they're doing every day. It should absolutely be on the front page every day. And the government, every government in the world should be held accountable for it.
So I'm assuming that the easiest solution for this one would be then just ban alcohol again, considering you didn't have these issues before.
Well, they've had these issues for years.
Yeah, but when they had it banned, the amount of issues they had dramatically dropped.
I don't have any numbers on that, but
I remember
women and children getting killed isn't an alcohol thing. It's an African thing. And yeah, bring in the ban. If that's what's going to help, do that. Why not? If it's that fucking easy, then just do it.
They did it the first time with no issues.
So why is there an issue now?
It's a great question. I don't know. And I don't get it either. I don't understand. You had that much of a rise that quickly? All right, hold on. Let's just go back for a moment here.
I got to do some looking up here because I'm not familiar with any of this.
I know when I first talked about it, there was I had certain numbers about what the.
Yeah, no, you said they were going to keep they were considering keeping the
alcohol ban.
Keeping the alcohol ban, which clearly they didn't.
And look what they get for it. Just how could a couple of, how does a couple of drinks make a person go that fucking violent? I just don't get it. I've never understood that.
That's just brings out something that's already in you, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. But Jesus.
I can't find anybody talking about this. What country is that? It's just South Africa as the country?
No, there was a. Hang on, why already closed it? Hang on a second. Look at it about not the thing right here. Johannesburg.
Yeah, that's the capital of South Africa.
That's the capital. Yeah.
I'll have to edit this out, everybody. Sing yourselves a song while I look up stuff. We'll be right back after these important messages. I can't access what I'm trying to access here.
There it is. There's the one I first brought out. South Africa's one positive with the COVID. Murder, rape, assault, and robbery cases have plummeted. This was on May 20th?
Sounds about right.
Since they imposed a lockdown in late March, but the police have been kept busy apprehending people for breaking the rules amid the curbing and spread of bullets. There are 1,072 murders committed in the country between March 27th and May 19th, a 64% drop from the previous year. The number of reported rapes declined by 83%, attempted murders down by 56%. assault down by 80, and robbery and aggravated circumstances fell by 64.